It's okay. So, good evening, guys. Uh, so we'll discuss about the dense fog advisory that's in place till 4 a.m. for Cullman, Marshall, Morgan, Jackson, and the Dekalb counties and areas down to the south, out uh, towards near or east of Birmingham and Gadsden and places like that. Um, um, it was issued earlier on this evening or this afternoon or evening, and, and now even if there's even if the areas that are not in the dense fog advisory for those that are in northwest Alabama, of course, even though we're not in the dense fog advisory, it doesn't necessarily matter because there is fog out there. In fact, when I was walking the dog just a few minutes ago, and I was being safe doing it, but when I was doing it, of course, there was fog out there. It's starting to get pretty widespread, apparently. So if you're going to be out driving tonight, be very, very careful on the roads. And same thing early tomorrow morning. And the dense fog advisory for Cullman, Morgan, Marshall, Jackson, the Dekalb counties, it goes out until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning unless something changes. It could be extended, it could not be, and it may not. But it probably wouldn't be a surprise if it did, and probably wouldn't surprise me if it ended up including the areas west of I-65 also. In fact, I can just read the information about it to you so you can understand it very specifically, if I can. Or something else. Let's see. It said the areas of dense fog expected tonight for portions of northern Alabama, and ideal conditions are leading to the rapid development of fog tonight over portions of northern Alabama. The fog will be locally dense for some in some spots, leading to potentially hazardous travel with rapid changes and reductions in visibility. The fog will likely persist through much of the night, but may begin to disperse, or in other words, dissipate, before daybreak Sunday. Again, it's from Morgan, Marshall, Jackson, DeKalb, and Cullman, including Decatur, Albertville, Boaz, Gunnersville, Arab, Scottsboro, Fort Payne, Rainsville, and Cullman. If you're in those areas, you're in the dense fog advisory. And again, it's in effect till 4 a.m. to Sunday morning. That'll be tomorrow morning. And the visibility's 1/4 of a mile or less at times. Again, until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, Sunday morning. And the impacts, limited visibilities will make travel difficult. This includes portions of interstates 65 and 59. That'll be I-59 that runs through Fort Payne and places like that, along with other major routes such as U.S. Highway 31, such as U.S. Highways 31, 231, 431, and 278. Again, the locations: Morgan, Marshall, Jackson, and Cabin, Cullman counties. And of course, you ought to know what to do and what it means. And of course, it means visibilities will frequently be reduced to less than 1/4 mile. And if you're driving tonight, if you are, you have to, you please slow down. Make sure you use your headlights and leave plenty of distance ahead of you. I mean, if you're driving the night, please do not go too fast. I cannot emphasize that enough. You have to take it slow, and don't be in too big of a hurry. Cause when we're, of course you can hear my dog playing in the background. When I was when my mother and sister and I were out in town yesterday in the afternoon, there we saw two wrecks, two of them in Muscle Shoals. One near the 1 on 43 before it turns into Woodward Avenue. Excuse me. 1 on 43 where before it turns into Woodward Avenue, passing Buffalo Rock and going over where the railroad tracks go under where they go under the overpass, where they go under 43. There's Sealer right there. Sealer. 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 Are you cold? Are you cold? Are you cold? Are you Are you cold? Sealer. Sealer. You wanna play? Are you cold? She's a mess. She's a mess. She's a mess. But anyway, but if you drive on I-65 on I-65 on a regular basis, or on I-59 on a regular basis, from the state line, or from Nashville to Mobile, or on Interstate 59 from Chattanooga to Gadsden and Birmingham on a regular basis, or if you drive on U.S. Highway, or if you drive on U.S. 31 from Athens and Decatur through Cullman and towards Birmingham, or U.S. 231 and U.S. 431 from Huntsville down to Birmingham, or east of Birmingham rather, or through Arab and Guntersville and places like that on a regular basis. Or if you drive down U.S. 278 from Cullman to Hamilton and down to Gadsden on a regular basis. And if you're going to be on any of those roads tonight, or quite frankly any of the highways, you have to be careful on the roads tonight. And even if you're not in the dense fog advisory, there's still fog out there. In fact, when I got the update when I got the video update on the WFF 48 weather app earlier, Eric Bird, he's the weekend meteorologist from WFF 48 News, specifically in the evenings, on the weekends and the evenings. He had mentioned that for those that are not in the locations that are not in the dense fog advisory, still there's fog everywhere, even for those that are not in the dense fog advisory. So that's why they're all saying, that's why I'm saying that if you're driving tonight anywhere, be careful on the roads and do not go too fast. Take it slow. And if you have to pull over and let the fog subside, do that. Don't risk your life getting in too big of a hurry and end up having a wreck. And when I mentioned about those two wrecks that I saw in Muscle Shoals yesterday, one was on 43 between Buffalo Rock and Lowe's, where the railroad tracks go under. Where the Norfolk Southern Memphis to Chattanooga rail line or railroad tracks. And I say they go from Memphis to Chattanooga, so they do. But the track, anyway, what I'm saying is, we saw a wreck down there that was right where the railroad tracks go under the overpass on 43 before it turns into Woodward. And saw another one on Avalon Avenue near Logan's Roadhouse. So that's the last thing we want to hear about tonight, overnight tonight, or in the very early morning hours tomorrow morning. So that's why I'm saying you need to be careful on the roads, regardless regardless of how late it is. If it has to take you an hour or two to get home tonight or so, it's better to do that than risk being in a big hurry and end up having a wreck and end up getting hurt or killed. So keep that in mind right now, please. Let me check the time right quick. Okay. Okay. Alright, it's about to be 11 o'clock. If you have any questions about the dense fog advisory, go right ahead and ask me now. But if you don't, that's okay. But I'd encourage everybody to please be careful on the roads tonight and in the morning also. In fact, if you don't have to travel tonight, I just don't try it. I mean, no, there's no severe weather, but fog is, it's serious business. Even though it's not causing damage, the only damage it could cause is when you're out there getting in too big of a hurry and end up having a wreck. That will be having damage. And if you end up risking your, causing, let's see. Okay, fog continuing to, hold on. Again, I just got a special weather statement. Let's see. As soon as all that clears off, I'll check it out. Hold on. Special weather statement for Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, Lawrence, Limestone, and Madison till 2 a.m. Come on now. Fog continuing to develop across portions of northern Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee for Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence, Limestone, Madison, and Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore, Tennessee till 2 a.m. Yeah, it's continuing to develop. So there's a special weather statement till 2 a.m. for Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence, and Limestone and Madison, and Franklin, Lincoln, and Moore counties in southern Middle Tennessee. So even though there's no dense fog advisory in place that I'm aware of at this time, that does not mean it's going to stay that way. So, that's why I'm saying, like I said earlier when I was walking the dog earlier a few minutes ago, or well, not quite that long ago, I guess. I don't know. The bottom line is when I was walking the dog earlier, there was fog out there, and I could see it getting pretty wide. So, if you're driving or anything like that, I cannot emphasize it enough to be careful. Take it slow. Even if it takes you 2 or 3 hours to get home or wherever you're going tonight, it's better to do that than risk having a wreck and end up risking your life and the life of those around you. End up someone getting injured severely or critically or injured or killed. So, and as you always hear me say all the time, we can replace a vehicle of any kind and the property that is in it or on it, whatever you want to call it. But we can never, ever replace a life. So keep that in mind. Having said that, unless something changes, unless I get an alert about another dense fog advisory in place, I'm going to get off this video right now. I may do one in the morning, but I can't assure you that yet. But we'll find out. Till then, I love every one of you. Be safe and have a good night. Don't be in a big hurry. Be very, very careful on the roads tonight and in the morning. And I hope to see you at Layton Baptist Church tomorrow morning also. Which, by the way, the services and all at Layton Baptist Church tomorrow morning will have praise band and choir practice at 8:15 a.m. And then have Sunday school at 9 o'clock a.m. and have the service at 10 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. We'd love to have you. And hope to see you there. I'm talking about at Layton Baptist Church. You'll have a wonderful night. Be careful on the roads. See you at Layton Baptist Church tomorrow morning. Have a good night and God bless.